All right, we're back for another feature of Soda City Jams. We're here tonight with one of the most prolific and well-known musicians in Columbia, Bentz Kirby. And fun fact, his video is the one that started Soda City Jams YouTube channel altogether. He does his annual birthday celebration in October, and this past year he had a new CD release, and I recorded the gig because I thought he might like it, and I decided to start a YouTube channel where, just for fun, where I recorded local musicians in Columbia, and him and the Red Shack Pickers were the first band up. So his is the whole band that started this thing. So welcome. We're so glad you're here tonight.
And if I could make a plug, on October 21st this year will be my 69th birthday jam. Or, well, not 69th time we've done it, but my 69th birthday.
Yes.
Probably about the 10th or 12th time we've done the jam.
All right. Well, we'll be sure we'll record it, and we'll do like a year anniversary.
There we go.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
So, how long have you been writing songs and playing guitar?
Well, I started playing guitar like at the end of high school, 1971, and I had a good friend at college, and he and I sort of started in playing, and he was writing songs, so I started writing songs. And probably the first good song I wrote, which is still one of my favorite songs, is a song called Country Music. And I wrote that, would have been about 77 or 78, because I was writing all these songs like Sad-Eyed Ladies of the Lowlands that were 95 verses long. And Clarence was like, dude, can you just write one regular song? And so he didn't think I could do it, so I did it. And it's a good song.
Yeah.
Still playing it.
I love that one.
So that was about 77 or 78. Okay. And from there, it just sort of came and went. But started playing in church around 2000 because nobody else in the church had a guitar.
Okay.
And that started playing out in public where people could see me.
Okay. So maybe
and
that's
then
20 years or so.
Yeah. And
as far as public goes.
Yeah, it was a long distance in between there. But then started going out to open mics and things like that, and eventually, probably around 2003 or something, I started playing out over in West Columbia on State Street.
Nice.
So.
Well, cool. So, what was your first guitar?
A Yamaha. I don't know the model number.
Okay.
And I wish I had it back because it was a good little guitar.
Yeah.
I did not appreciate it at the time.
Yeah. I'm curious, we've been wanting to know from all our musicians how COVID directly impacted your career.
Well, I don't know that I had a career to begin with, but I mean, I do make about $20 a year in royalties, so I guess I do. But basically what happened was, I've been playing, really have had recorded albums with for three different bands. Alien Carnival is kind of a rock band. Jelly Roll Delicious Dish is sort of more not middle of the road, but a wider range of music. And then Red Shack Pickers, and we started doing that. So when COVID hit and we felt comfortable, we started, because in here we could get, like, from you to John, we could get three people in here just about 10 feet apart. Mm-hmm. And so Jim and Jay and I started playing every week, and we never stopped. And then when COVID got over, we went back to playing gigs. So
that's how Red Shack Pickers come.
Yes. Well, we already were a thing, but that's sort of how, when you practice, you get better. And that was sort of how we started practicing, and we just hadn't stopped. And so I haven't gone back to either Alien Carnival or Jelly Roll Delicious Dish, because this band practices and plays.
Yeah,
and so
that's great. And we're in the Red Shack right now, and it's such a nice space for creation. And like you said, it was very convenient during COVID to be able to still stay apart and practice at the same time. So that's great.
The name of the band is the Red Shack Pickers, but the name of the shack is the Grateful Red Shack.
The Grateful Red Shack.
And of course, John's sitting over there. And John could look around and say, I see 3 pictures of Jerry Garcia.
Yep.
The diamond effect.
Yeah. So
I was thinking you needed one on the other wall to like.
I know.
complete it,
Probably, well,
you
we've
know?
got the Allman Brothers one way out up there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. If you were given the choice of any musician, dead or alive, to have as a dinner guest, who would it be?
Well, first of all, probably the musician I'm most fascinated with is Bob Dylan, but I would not have him as a dinner guest.
And why is that?
Well, I just think it would probably be very awkward and uncomfortable, you know. So
Just because he's so famous, or
no,
you wouldn't know
because
what
he's
to-
so
Because
weird.
he's so
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's so weird,
Yeah,
and
true.
you know,
See, the
there's
trick
like,
is to
I
have
think
him
you're correct on
accidentally
that.
think he was supposed to be at your house and show up anyway.
right.
You know,
So-
but
I
it
bet
was supposed to
you
be
could-
3 houses
I
down.
bet
You
you
know?
could crack it.
Well, probably, you know, dead or alive, the person that I always would have wanted to meet was Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool. But probably of people that are alive right now, probably if I could have Neil Young over for dinner, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Because who knows what the hell would happen then.
That's right.
Yeah. It could turn into anything.
I've got a Les Paul in there when you get started, Neil. Come on.
Of course. Which song of yours, if you could pick one, I mean, I know they're all personal, but do you have a song that you think is the most personal and deep
Well,
to you?
you know, the songs come from different experiences. You know, I mean, like country music was just written because the Willie and the Waylon and Lukenbach, Texas was popular, and so
I know Grady
and-
County Blues is pretty
Grady
personal.
County, yeah, Grady County Blues it's a partially true story, and yeah, that's personal. But I don't know. What did you say again? It was like
Just
my
which
favorite
song-
one,
or
more personal.
Which song
Yeah.
of yours is the most personal, or one of the most personal? I know there's probably
Well,
many.
Grady County Blues surely is, but
Mm.
the one that's the most important to me right now, I don't know, I really like She Was Old because that came off the album where my dad, it's all sort of dedicated to him and it's all based on his stories. And that's an actual story. He told me one day we were riding by the woman's house, and the next time, because it was on the way to the VA hospital where I'd take him to get his medical work done. And so the next time I took him, he started telling me about she died. And when I asked him, you know, what had happened or whatever, and he just said she was old a long time ago. And I was like, damn, that's a song. So I wrote that down. So that's important. I always also like He'll Never Forget, which is one I was messing with earlier when you came in. And I like that song because I had a vivid dream, and the whole song was like I just woke up and the whole song was in my head, and I went and wrote down the lyrics, and then when I woke up I still could hear the melody and wrote that down. So those are the two that I'm most partial to right now.
Okay.
But yeah, Grady County Blues is probably, from people who knew me in 1971, they probably think that's the most important
Most
one.
personal. Yeah, I love that.
But it's not all true.
Oh yeah, a little bit of it's fudge.
But well, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, you gather things from different things over like 3 years
Right.
and put them in together like they all happened one night.
Yeah, I can
you know.
play them. Yeah.
So I mean, fortunately, I was stone cold sober when we got busted, so was not high. So, but it's a better song if you're high, right?
Always.
So there you go.
Always. So you're currently getting your master's degree in writing, right?
Yes.
Did songwriting inspire you at all to pursue that degree?
Well, it's interesting because I went back through. My mother saved everything. She was a hoarder, and I found a bunch of stuff, including notebooks that I had from like 1969 or 70, and I was already writing poetry at that time. And I contacted one of my English teachers who still is teaching now, and told her about it. And she was like, "Well, why didn't you ever tell me? I could have helped you out with that." And I was like, "Man, I was a jock, and you know, I didn't want anybody to know I had feelings or
Yeah.
thought about things or whatever, that would have not been cool. And so then the songwriting came along after that. A lot of it I wanted to do, but the catalyst was my friend Clarence, who unfortunately has passed away. But Clarence was writing, so it sort of became a thing. Like, well, I got to write songs too,
Yeah.
because you can do it. I know got somebody who's doing it now. It can be done.
Yeah. So are you enjoying? You're enjoying that program?
Yeah, but the question, I was writing poetry first, but they're really connected. It's different, but it's a very connected process.
Absolutely.
So.
Oh, cool. So, I'm curious if you could give any advice to the younger songwriting you, like back in the late 70s, like you said, what would it be?
Yeah. Well, I started writing in the mid 70s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you could give advice to your younger songwriting self, what would it
From
be?
what you know now.
My advice to myself first would be to take more guitar lessons, pay attention, and learn to play better.
All right,
Because
fair enough.
the more chords you know, and the more you know about strumming and finger picking and all that, the more range of possibilities you have with a song, what you can do with it. I mean, obviously, every song can't be Towns Van Zandt, but I can't do that because I don't know how to finger pick adequately, so I just play it strumming. So it would be nice if you have the whole full range of arsenal in your. So really understanding the song structure, learning about what the relative minors are and all that type stuff allows you to write better songs. And having the fundamentals on guitar is what allows that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, or
I've heard
piano.
that.
I'd probably say, first of all, even if your mother was your piano teacher, which my mother was, is don't quit the lessons. Okay.
Mm. That's good
So,
advice.
yeah, I did.
Let
I
it
wish
be.
I had
Let
not.
that be advice to
Yeah,
any musician
'cause I would-
watching. Yeah.
That would be the first advice, because I can't read. I can read music a little bit, but not enough to do it, and it would just make a big difference when you have music theory, when you understand it.
Mm-hmm. Those fundamentals are
Right.
key.
So that's what I would tell you.
All right. What do you think are some key traits of a great musical companion? Like a duo partner or a road check picker's partner?
You mean like my
Like
wife?
a mick to a
or your wife, yeah, or your wife. Anybody that you're singing or playing with. Like, what do you think are some key traits that make a reliable music companion?
Well, I think, first of all, to play good music together, you have to listen to each other. And you have to pay attention to if you have one, and then you have to pay attention to the rhythm section. And people have to be sort of focused. Like, if one person is like bored or whatever, then the music
It's not
doesn't
gonna
happen.
flourish.
There's no way to make any magic unless you're all focused. But my wife is my favorite person to sing with, because she makes me sound better, because she listens and she does whatever is a good harmony part of whatever I'm doing.
Just
And
jump in, feed.
so that's a musical partnership there. And then it's the same thing with, even I miss that with Jelly Roll Delicious Dish, because May and Jen together
Mm-hmm.
cover up a lot of sins by me. So, I think that listening to each other is the most important thing, and May does that really well, no matter who she's playing with.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
That's great. And then lastly, what do you have coming up? I know you have a show on the 22nd of April, is that right?
yes,
Okay. At Fox Field.
right. The Red Shack Pickers are going to play there, and we got John and Carrie Scotland are playing and singing with us now. John's playing bass, and we still don't have a drummer, but hopefully we will have one for that show.
Okay.
So, then we got on May 5th, if you probably don't want to pay the price of admission, but May's job or business or whatever is Mercy Mental Illness Recovery Center, Inc. has their annual fundraiser, which is called 52 Windows, because the first time they did it, somebody had 52 windows they'd taken out of their house, and they gave them to different artists, and they then sold them.
Oh, wow.
And so then another year when they changed the parking meters, people did stuff with the parking meters, but now it's just certain artists, so you can get some really good art there, but it's an expensive ticket. And then on, that's May 5th and May the 7th at, which one of the historic houses where they have the crawfish festival, oyster festival.
Yeah.
Oh, not crawfish, the oyster festival, I don't know, Hampton, Sydney, whatever house that is up there. We're going, the Mad Hatter is a artist collective that they're having an art thing. Red Shack Pickers are going to pay there. So that's
Okay.
our 3 gigs right now.
All right. Well, we will tag those and promote those. Be sure to look out for that.
Thank you.
And
Please
thank you
do.
so much for being here. Thanks for jamming
Oh,
with
great,
us.
Sydney. Thank you.
Being
Thanks,
here.
John.
No, you're
Peace out,
welcome.
y'all.
Peace.